The darkness continues.
Peace, folk, and welcome back to another edition of the Prophet of Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Well, I'm back with another. And yes, the darkness does continue. And sometimes the darkness appears in white. Yeah, that's right. I know I usually bring y'all these stories and, it'd be black broads up here who done did some craziness, some nonsense, some foolishness. But today, I'm bringing you some white women who have done some crazy foolishness too. Most of the time, we look at these things, and because we see so many of our own female folks doing this stuff, we often forget that white women do it too, or should I say, white women do it too. And we're in the courtroom of the Honorable Judge Mincy today, and she's dealing with some of these white women. And shout out to my boy, Brother SKC, because I will be throwing in a couple of his cuts courtesy of his videos as well. So, without further delay, let's get at it in this version of Wrongdoings with White Women. And as always, fair use, Negroes, fair use. Well, all right. As stated, we are in the courtroom of the Honorable Regina Mincy, and we got some white women. Who've committed some wrongdoings in here today. I know this is something different than what I usually bring you, good folk, but we're gonna compound the statement of white women do it too. So let's get at it. And as always, fair use, Negroes, fair use.
That Angie Spurl.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 23 CR 000362C. Charged with one count of battery family violence. The offense date is 9/26/2022.
Well, they are keeping to code, because usually when I bring y'all these cases, that's what we got, right? Battery, family violence, domestic violence, criminal trespass. That's the going theme in this particular courtroom. And obviously this chick here is accused of allegedly committing these here crimes. But we continue.
Free trial.
Third arrest. Last arrest was in August for simple battery DV. The same victim.
Now, here we go with a repeat offender. Arrested for the same thing about 5 months ago. Same charge, same victim. Some people just never learn. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
2021 misdemeanor possession of marijuana, possession of a Schedule 1, 2, or 3 narcotic. That was dismissed. The last arrest is that case number is 22 CR 005 854C as in cat. That's a $3,000 pretrial bond. So it'll be $3,000 on top of whatever you said.
Well, she's got a pretrial bond, which means a signature bond that she's on right now. But here she sits. All right. She got out. She was able to sign on the dotted line and walk out. But somehow she's back. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
That's it.
All right. Thank you.
And Judge Morrow was a judge on the last case. It wasn't you.
Okay.
Oh, she got that from the Honorable Judge Moreau, who's really, really fair with people as well. Judge Mincy, she's pretty fair too. I mean, I'm not going to say she's not. I mean, she's pretty fair too. It all depends on what you come in here with and what your, what the factors are and the allegations. So a lot of these judges are pretty fair. I'm not going to say she's as fair as Judge Moreau, but she's pretty fair as well. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
All right. ASG Todd.
And of course, she's screwed because she has the worst public defender on the planet representing her. Yeah, she's screwed. But we continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. On the incident date, the defendant became upset with Miss Ayla, A-Y-L-A, Bryson, common spelling, who she's in a relationship with, just because she informed her that she was leaving the residence. Upon learning of Miss Bryson's intention, the defendant attempted to forcibly prevent Miss Bryson from leaving, resulting in several scratches across Miss Bryson's face.
Uh-oh. A cat fight. But we continue.
Neck and arms. As pretrial stated, this defendant does currently have an open simple battery case against this very same victim. The bond condition, which was a signature bond, one of those conditions was to stay away from Miss Bryson. It is very clear now.
Uh-oh. Now, as a condition, she was supposed to stay away from her lesbian lover. But somehow, she's right back. She's just as bad as some of these Negroes. You get let out, a signature bond, you sign on the line, you walk out the door, and the judge tells you, look, stay away from this person. So what do they do? They say, I know. I'm going back to their house. Because guess what? These white hoes are stupid too. Yeah, they are. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
The defendant has no intention of complying with court orders, as she has now picked up a more severe charge of battery family violence against Miss Bryson within 30 days of being released.
Damn. It's only been 30 days since she got out of jail. And she's right back at the place where they told her white ass to stay away from. She's right back. The wrongdoings of white women. White women! White women! White women! But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
On a signature bond. We are concerned about the intimidation of this witness. It appears that there is a clear cycle of violence in this relationship, Your Honor. As I said, this is the second family violent case between these two individuals within 30 days. We are asking for a $5,000 cash bond simply because of the repetition of violence in this household, Your Honor. We are asking for no further contact again from Miss Bryson, a stay away from 815 Myrtle Street, 6 weeks of anger awareness.
They want her to have 6 weeks of anger awareness. Usually it's only, 1 day. They say, oh, we want them to have 1 day or 2 day anger awareness course. They want her to have 6 whole weeks. But you can't be surprised, right? Because contrary to many people's belief, some of the most violent domestic violent situations are between lesbian couples. That's where the majority of the violence lives, between lesbian couples. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
She did complete, or she was ordered to complete 1 day of anger awareness, and whether.
See, they usually say 1 day. They want her to have 6 weeks now, but we continue.
She took it or not, we do not know. If she did, it clearly did not help. And we are also asking for no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
I'm with the Solicitor General on this one. All right. Whatever course she took, it obviously didn't work. The court order that she was put under for no contact, she obviously just disregarded that. She's in here for the same exact charge, but this time it's been bumped up because it's worse, according to the Solicitor General. So this chick has a problem. She can't stop doing wrong, obviously. That's why her ass is sitting right here, the same place she just was sitting 30 days ago. Maybe, just maybe, her white ass might suffer from UMI, undiagnosed mental illness. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
All right. P.P. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
And things aren't going to get better for her because she's got this lady representing her, by the way. But we continue.
Miss Angie Sparrow is 22 years old, and she has been here in Georgia for all her life. Your Honor, she is actually not employed. She was laid off, I guess, about 2 months ago. She was working at nursing home, and yet she was getting COVID-19 and getting sick, so she could not continue her employment there. Right now, she's waiting for Goodwill to give her final words about whether she's going to start working there or not. Since she's unemployed, she's qualified for public defender services, and she is currently residing with her mother and auntie at a low-income housing area. Your Honor, they
Low-income housing area, whatever the hell that means.
do not live together anymore. They broke up, so I don't think that there's going to be any more incident. This happened on September 26, 2022. There has been ample cooling off period. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give her a signature on bond, we would like to request for a maximum $1,000 good bond. Thank you.
She's not going to get anything this lady just asked for. And not just because this public defender is freaking horrible. She's not going to get it because she just got out like 30 days ago. She's back over there beating up on the same person that she was locked up for beating up on before. No, she's not getting a signature bond. Not going to happen. And if she does, it's going to be really, really hot. Well, probably not, because she's already out on a signature bond. So no, she's not getting it. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Your Honor, if I may very briefly just reiterate the fact that she was out on a signature bond when she committed this offense.
And there's the nail in the coffin.
So I do not believe that a signature bond is appropriate in this case at all.
All right. I do agree. I am a little disturbed by the fact that she was granted the privilege of that signature bond and continued to violate it. And I do understand it's been some months. However, I want to make sure that our victim is going to be safe. But I'm going to order the $5,000 cash bond.
That's right, Judge Mincy. Do not let her white ass sign on the dotted line again and walk out. Because all she going to do is go back over there and tear off in that girl's ass again. Cool your heels in jail for a little while until the people can come through and drop $500 with your white ass. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
$5,000 cash. I'm going to order no further contact.
Oh, not even 5,000, 10%. $5,000 cash money, white woman. That's right, Judge Mincy. Do not let her walk her ass out of there easily. The family must come up with $5,000 if you wish to be released. But we continue.
With the victim, Alea Bryson. I'm going to order that stay away from 815 Myrtle Street.
Look at her. Got her hand up. Got her damn hand up. White woman, shut your ass up. If you not about to say, Your Honor, I'm a freaking idiot. If you're not about to say that, just shut your white ass up. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And that's all I order at this time.
Your Honor, respectfully, I would like to request for stay away to be lifted up because 815 Myrtle Street is, I think that's where she is residing with her mother and auntie.
Okay, and Miss Bryson doesn't reside there?
Not anymore, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would object to removing that stay away order. We have not had the opportunity to speak with Miss Bryson, so we can't.
Oh, so they over there fighting at Mom Duke house. So I guess the girlfriend was living with her and Mom Duke, and they got the scrapping over there. And, okay, so maybe the girlfriend came to where she was. Okay, we'll give her that benefit of the doubt. But, just the same, you wasn't supposed to be around this woman, and you were. So that means you're stupid, just the same. But we continue.
Cannot confirm whether she lives there or not.
I will allow a police escort, law enforcement escort, to go back to that property if and when Ms. Spurl gets out on bond. I'm going to order that stay away from Myrtle Street, Miss Grace, I'm sorry, conditional upon her returning with law enforcement to confirm whether or not Ms. Bryson still resides there. And if law enforcement in the report that they make on this escort determines that, they need to document, and then she can reside there with her parents or her mother and grandmother, as long as law enforcement verifies and documents that Ms. Bryson does not reside there anymore.
That's right. You got to stay away from Mom Duke house. You got to stay away from there until they find out that girl ass you be tearing off and whooping over there does not live there anymore, white woman. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I don't know. You can speak to her, Ms. Kim. She's raising her hand. Unless she's going to tell me about whether Ms. Bryson lives there or not, that's about all, or any questions on the conditions.
I strongly recommend you to stay silent because you don't want to incriminate your case. So please stay silent.
Some of the best damn advice that this woman can possibly give. White woman, shut your ass up. But we continue.
It's fine.
Okay. If you don't have a question about the bond conditions, then you need to follow your attorney's instructions.
That's right. Shut your ass up unless you about to ask a relevant question. Shut your ass up.
It's I'm just questioning about. It's just about like the getting out on the signature bond. That was on this charge, right? For this one,
Same victim.
same victim, because it was only one charge. It was a family violence with simple battery. So it was one charge, and then that was it. If that makes sense.
Well, I don't think it's relevant to the question about the bond now. You were out on a signature bond. They say you committed another offense with the same victim. So
Yes. You were out. You signed on the line and walked out the door. And 30 days later, goddammit, you're right back whooping on this girl's ass. You know, the girl they told you to stay away from. So now's the time to shut your ass up. Because you, white woman, are a repeat offender. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I'm certainly not going to give you another signature bond. So that's why I'm really basing it on what has been alleged.
With the victim, what was the other charge I got? Because my last charge was the one that was the simple battery and the family violence one. That was one charge.
This one,
going forward, I haven't got anything in each one.
This one is not simple battery. This one is just battery.
Oh, full battery.
Yeah, those charges are different. So that means you whooped up on her ass a lot more this time than you did the last time. But we continue.
So, right.
You said
But
5,000 cash, right?
Yes, 5,000 cash.
Okay.
All right. You can ask your attorney some other questions if you need after court. She will answer your questions later about your charges. All right. Next, deputies.
Position 22 at the Alpharetta Jail.
Okay. 22 at the Alpharetta Jail.
Well, one thing I can say, they're right when they say white women do it too. All right. We move on to our next case.
First arrest,
Emily, I'm sorry. Who was speaking?
Oh, that was me. I was saying first arrest.
Oh, first arrest. All right. Thank you.
All right. This white woman here, Blondie here, she's getting out. It's her first arrest. No matter what she did, they're going to let her out. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. Let's see what Blondie has done.
This is case number 23CR000367G. Is it Emily? Can you pronounce your last name for me?
Rocky.
I'm sorry?
Rocky.
Rocky. Okay. All right. The charge is battery, family violence.
God damn it, she done tore off and whooped somebody's ass in the family too. Boy. Boy, these white women are violent. They are violent. Well, I'll say again. People are right when they say white women do it too. Yeah, they're right. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
The offense date is September the 25th, 2021. And I understand it's her first arrest. ASG Todd.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officers were called to 240 North Highland Avenue on reports of domestic dispute. Upon arrival, officers spoke with Mr. Sterling Russell, both common spelling, who stated that the defendant arrived at his home to pick up their child. When the defendant denied her entry into his apartment, she forced her way in anyway, hitting Mr. Russell with the door, leaving him with lacerations and bruises to his left foot. Mr. Sterling also reported that the defendant, as she walked in, turned and bit him, leaving bite marks on his shoulder, which were visible to officers when they arrived.
Oh, she's a biter, this one here. She will bite you. She will bite you. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Pretrial stated that this was her first arrest. However, we do have confirmation of an arrest related to a failure to appear for a traffic citation. It was listed under a different name of Emily Simmons, which we were able to confirm via a previous police report involving this same Mr. Russell is another name known for for the defendant. That we are concerned as to the intimidation of this witness in this case. They do share a child together, this putting the defendant in a position to potentially improperly influence Mr. Russell.
How do you figure that? I mean, if that was the case, he wouldn't have called the police on our white ass. I'm not with the Solicitor General on this one. I do not believe that she would be able to intimidate this man, because if there was any degree of intimidation coming down the pipe, he probably would have never called the police on her in the first place. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
We are also concerned to a degree with her ties to the community. At the time of the incident, the defendant made mention of the fact that she was taking the child and going back to North Carolina, which leads the state to believe that she has stronger ties to the community of North Carolina and could be a potential flight risk. The state is asking for a $3,000 surety bond.
Not going to get that. Even if Judge Mincy raises the bond up to $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, it's her first arrest, or according to the Solicitor General, it might be her second arrest. She's going to give her a signature bond, man, especially on this. All right. She attacked a man. So y'all already know. They just don't take that as seriously, unfortunately. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
No further contact with Mr. Russell, a stay away from his home at 240 North Highland Avenue, one-day anger awareness, third-party transfer of their child, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
All right. PD Kim.
And lucky her, this is her first arrest, because who she is represented by, I can't say this enough. This lady is like the worst public defender I've seen. And I've watched so much of this stuff. And if you follow the Prophet of Thought series, you've seen enough of it too, to know that this woman is the worst public defender ever. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Emily is actually, this incident actually happened on 2021, Your Honor, a very long time ago. And my client can actually verify that she was not even here at Georgia. She was already in North Carolina with.
Okay. This charge happened in 2021. So we talking, she said September 2021. You're talking a freaking year and 4 months. So you're talking 16 months ago. It's kind of odd that they're just now bringing her to court on it. So I don't know. Maybe it was a private warrant that was sworn out. I don't know. But that's a long time ago. So when these cases come down the pipe, it's like, okay, is this really a concern? But still, she did attack him, all right, and attacked him to the point where he felt the need to call the police or swear out a warrant. So here Blondie sits. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Her parents, and which is only 3 hours away. So she can come, drive back here to go to court. It's not a big, huge difficulties to comply with the court order. Your Honor, she has a bachelor's degree for communication. She has worked in the financial services industry for a long time. She has a life insurance license. Right now, she has not been she has not been employed because she's preparing to get a license for another financial area. So she does not have any income at this point. So we would like to request for signature on bond.
Wait a minute. How the hell is she unemployed and she's got a bachelor's and she's got a insurance license and all this kind of stuff? How the hell she ain't employed somewhere? I mean, how's she living? How's she living? You know, unless she's stripping, you know, to pay her way through school. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
She's a single mom of 4 years old and
a single mom of 4 years old. Not only is this lady a horrible public defender, but I mean, I don't know how long she's been in the country, but she just doesn't have any degree of mastery over the English language whatsoever. But we continue.
Mr. Sterling Russell and my client are having a really good relationship now, long distance relationship, and yet they are trying to get back together. Indeed, she stays 1 week per month here at Georgia with Mr. Sterling Russell, and the child is almost here, and she's planning to move back to stay with Mr. Russell and a child. So we would like to request for no further violent contact, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
And you stated that the child is how old again?
4 years old, Your Honor.
4. Okay, 4.
Your Honor, just very briefly, the state has not had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Russell regarding his desire for contact. So therefore, we ask at this point that it stay a no further contact. And if PD Kim would like, she can request the bond modification for the no further violent contact.
I'm with the Solicitor General on this one, because if it was a man who had did this, the first thing they would say is stay your ass away from there. Stay your ass away from her. Have third party transfer of the kid. That's what they would say. So I'm with the Solicitor General on this one. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
However, at this time, we do stress the no further contact.
And so do I. God damn it. But we continue.
This incident happened in 2021, and there has been ample time of cooling off period. I don't think it is necessary to have no further contact.
While that may be true, again, we have not had the opportunity to speak with, excuse me, with Mr. Sterling to verify.
I'm with the Solicitor General on this one. She needs to stay her white ass away from there. But we continue.
Verify the status of whether or not they have a symbiotic relationship or not. So we do, again, still push for the no further contact.
I am a little curious, PD Kim, if you would allow me or you to ask that one question of the defendant if she is seeing her child or has had contact since 2021.
Yes.
All right.
And I'm actually gonna call Mr. I couldn't contact him before the court, but let me try again. Hopefully he can answer the phone.
How you gonna do that in the middle of a court hearing, lady? You should have did that before they came on. You had ample time. You was in the office before all this happened. I guess everybody's supposed to sit around and wait for you to make this phone call. I told you. This lady, I wouldn't want this lady representing me on a jaywalking summit. Absolutely not. Because a $50 ticket will turn into a $5,000 ticket if you got this damn woman representing you. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Mr. Rocky, can you answer that? Are you having contact with your son and Mr. Sterling?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
When's the last time you saw your son or visited with your son?
Last Friday.
Okay. So you do come back for a week in Georgia to visit and
Yes,
are
Your Honor.
co-parenting with Mr. Sterling?
Yes,
Mr. Russell. Mhm.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Don't worry, Miss Kim. We have a lot of cases. I won't hold for that.
Exactly. She's not going to sit around and wait for you to make a damn phone call. But we continue.
Thank you.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to order, because I know that she lives in North Carolina.
3 hours away.
I'm going to order a $5,000 signature bond.
Told you, even if she raised it up a bit, she was going to let her sign on the dotted line. It's her first arrest, man. I mean, it's your first arrest. Judge Mincy is going to let your ass out. All right? You're going to sign on the line and walk out the door. It's kind of how it goes. Now, with that, you see equal treatment, okay? You see equal treatment when it comes to that stuff. Because not for nothing, even if this was a black woman or a black man or an Asian man or a Latino woman or a Latino man, your first arrest, Judge Mincy is going to let you sign on the dotted line and walk out the door. It's just the way it goes. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Through pretrial per judge. And pretrial, will she just be able to call in to report in for once a month, or how would that go?
She should, but I mean, you can do it through the jail if you want to be safe, I guess. She lives 3 hours away.
Maybe I'll just change it to the jail then.
Your Honor, as this is a family violence case where injuries are alleged, we would object to going through the jail. We object to it being a signature bond, but strongly object to it being through the jail. We do ask that she be required to report.
As long as
the Solicitor General want her driving her ass from North Carolina. She wants her to do the drive, no Zoom reporting. But we continue.
Trial can assure me she can report by phone.
PD Kim even stated herself that it would be no problem for her to come back to the state of Georgia. So I think that the requirement for her to be in person is not too much of a hindrance. PD Kim has already admitted that it shouldn't be.
Okay. If I guess you could try to arrange it for the weeks that she's back visiting with her son. Okay. However, pretrial wants to do that, or she can make them aware of what her schedule is to report in and how they want her to report. But I will continue it then, signature bond, 5,000 signature bond through pretrial per judge. I'm going to order a one-day anger awareness course.
See, one day anger awareness is what they usually order. But you saw the last girl, they want her to have 6 weeks. But then again, she beat up on the same person she had been locked up for beating up on before, so there is that. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. I'm going to order no further violent contact with Sterling Russell.
Now, no further violent contact means she can still be around this guy. And there's the difference, right? Because if this was a brother who was accused of allegedly doing the same thing, they would simply say no contact. That's what they would say. Especially if he has bitten her and busted her foot with the door and all this kind of foolishness. They would say no contact whatsoever. No violent contact means you can be around this person, just don't bite them again. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
And the North Highland Avenue, is that where Mr. Russell lives?
As We know it to this day. Yes, that was his home address, not hers. We cannot confirm. Again, we have not spoken to him. We are not 100% sure if that remains his address.
Miss Rocky, is that the address where you visit your son?
No, ma'am. Actually, it's in Decula, Georgia now.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, I won't order the stay away if that's not, that may have been the incident address 2 years ago, but it sounds like it's not its present address. But I've ordered no further violent contact. So
thank you.
as long as the violence ceases, then I will allow you to see your child, but no further violent contact with me.
That's right. Don't be over there biting on him, white woman. Stop it. But we continue.
Mr. Russell.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. That should conclude it. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state.
Yeah, she gets to sign on the dotted line, even though, she'll expose her fangs and sink them into you. She gets to sign on the dotted line, walk out the door. Even though she lives out of state, they don't have a problem with her having a signature bond. Now, the Solicitor General did lobby, like, no, Your Honor, she live in another state, so, she's a flight risk, et cetera, et cetera. That kind of stuff doesn't move Judge Mincy. She looks at your record, man. I mean, this is your first arrest. You're getting out, all right? You are walking out the door today, all right? You're going to sign and breeze out of the door. But, not for nothing, the case was a while ago. I guess they finally picked her up after like 16 months, and she had to answer for it. According to her, she's back and forth, visiting with the kid and the dude she bit. Over the past 16 months since this happened, they still get along smoothly, and she probably still goes over there and licks his balls when she's staying there. According to this horrible public defender down here, they, are planning on getting back together. So there is that. I don't know what this man's state of mind is. She biting on you and doing all this kind of foolishness. I don't know why you would be considering getting back with this white woman. I don't know. Maybe she got a pixie dust and glitter coming up out of that funk box of hers. I don't know. But it's another case of white women do it too. White women! I guess everybody's right when they say that. But we move on. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Position 4 and 5, Mr. Braggs.
Okay.
White woman still sitting here looking crazy. Crazy Blondie. Look, she got those crazy eyes. You've seen those crazy eyes before, brothers. If you happen to be a brother who like white women, don't be around the ones who have eyes like this. But before we get out of here, it is now time for T.P.O.T's bonus clip. Yeah, it's time for a bonus clip because I always have one of those for you Negroes. And y'all know these bonus clips, they're mostly for laughs more than anything else, because some of the stuff be kind of funny, so But let's get at it. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
This is Jessica, is it Powell's? P-O-W-L-S?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's Powell's, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I mispronounced it. How is it pronounced?
It is Powell's, Your Honor.
Oh, Powell's. Okay, thank you.
Now, if this lady is representing them. Like I always say, she's not the worst public defender there is, because the lady in the bottom right-hand corner is the worst. But this lady here in the top row in the center square, she's running a close second or third. Oh, yeah, she's running close. She's not the worst, but damn near the worst. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
23 CR 000365Y. You charge it 1 count of theft by taking, and the offense date is January the 19th, 2023. Pre-trial.
12 total.
The white girl's been arrested like 12 times. She's in here for theft. Now, that comes through this courtroom every now and then, but y'all know the theme of this courtroom is usually battery, domestic violence, domestic battery, criminal trespass. That's usually the theme here. So we don't see theft that often, but it wouldn't be a surprise that, you know, the white girl comes through here, and of course she's a goddamn thief. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Last arrest was 2018, battery DV.
And she's got some battery domestic violence in her past as well. But we continue.
Misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Disposition was not prosecuted. 2014 simple battery criminal trespass arrest.
Damn, she's got another battery and the old criminal trespass as well. But we continue.
2014 misdemeanor possession of marijuana. It was NOD. Disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, battery DV.
Another battery, domestic violence, another criminal trespass. Jeez. They're right when they say, white women do it too. They're right. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Hold on. Courtroom 3, can you mute yourself? Which one? Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
That was from 2014. All those charges was dismissed. She was recommended.
Okay. All right. ASG Abdullah.
Yes, Your Honor. The facts show that on January 19th, the defendant was caught on camera crawling through a fence at 470 Morgan Falls, which is the Keep North Fulton Beautiful organization. They specialize in receiving donated electronics and recycling them. Excuse me.
Tongue twister.
Right, I'm sorry. But the defense, oh, by the way, this is also a co-defendant case. And if we could call, I think it's position 16 right after, or position 15. Position 16 right after this one. It's a co-defendant case. But yeah, the defendant was seen crawling through a fence and entering a shipping container full of recycled electronics. Officers found several electronics concealed in a black book bag near the defendant when she was stopped as she attempted to leave the location. The program director at Keep North Fulton Beautiful says that they have had several thefts in the past and will.
Oh, so she likes to crawl under the fence and steal. Well, she's had some criminal trespass, so there's a pretty good chance that this white girl is homeless. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Like to press charges. As this is the defendant's first theft charge, although she does have an extensive arrest record, the state is recommending a $2,500 surety or requesting a $2,500 surety bond, as well as no further contact with the co-defendant and a stay away from that 470 Morgan Falls Road.
All right.
Your Honor, my client is 31 years old, Your Honor.
She's 31 years old, and this is what she's doing. crawling under fences and stealing electronics out of a place where they take donations. That's like somebody breaking into the back of Salvation Army and stealing stereos out of there that they had donated to them, or stealing clothes or lamps or something. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
She has lived in the Atlanta area all her life. She has graduated from high school. She has a GED. She tells me that she currently has a business where she repairs old electronics.
Well, if she has a business, why the hell did they catch her on camera crawling under the fence stealing them? Is that her business? Stealing them, then repairing them and selling them? Is that the business? But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
She sells them. And she said the old computers that she had, the old gadgets that she had, she actually got them out of a dumpster. She thought they were abandoned property. She did not think that they were anything of value to anyone. And that's why she took them. She was hoping she could scavenge them for parts, which is really what she does. She tells me that she has a whole lot of medical bills for her mom, who is in hospital, sort of in hospice conditions right now, and she is solely responsible for that. I would ask the court to consider the fact that my client has not had any kind of charges for any theft-related issues, and she does not have a significant criminal record. She's also recommended that I would ask the court to give her a signature bond.
Well, she's been arrested 12 times before this, madam. Now, mind you, some of the charges were dismissed according to the pre-trial services person. But she has been arrested for battery, criminal trespass, domestic violence, which means she tore up and whooped somebody's ass in the family. All right? That has happened. So this isn't some white girl with angel wings. Let's not try to make it seem like that. And according to the Solicitor General, they have her on camera climbing underneath the fence. So even if these things were quote unquote in the dumpster, they were in a dumpster behind a fence, which means stay your white ass out of here. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
So she can get out of jail and continue to take care of her mother and just to try to make a living for herself. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Look, she got the prayer hands up. Look at that. Got the prayer hands up. But we continue.
Your Honor, given the defendant's line of work, saying that she repairs electronics, I think it's obvious that if she's taking something if she's crawling through a fence and taking something out of a container, something of value that she's reselling, I think it's obvious it would be obvious to a reasonable person that that's theft. So for that reason, we're going to request again for the $2,500 surety bond.
I'm with the Solicitor General on this one. All right. If you are a person who repairs electronics, I mean, you know that you ain't supposed to be climbing underneath or over a fence to go and get electronics off of a property to get them to fix them, right? It would appear that you would maybe purchase them or someone would give them to you, something of that nature. You wouldn't have to climb under a fence and grab them out of a dumpster or a box or wherever you got them from and then climb under the fence and then take them and fix them and sell them. You would be getting them some other way, right? Like I said, you would be buying them or someone would be handing them to you. You wouldn't have to climb nothing to get to them, even if they were in the garbage. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
I disagree with you. She says they were in the trash and she did not think they were valuable. And she regularly dumpster dives for stuff that she could find useful.
Oh, she dumpster dives. But if the dumpster's behind the fence, you're not supposed to be diving in it. But we continue.
It was a shipping container behind a locked fence.
All right. I'm not going to belabor or argue the facts of the case, but that will be saved for your trial. But as far as determining factors for bond, listening to her history and things of that nature, and she's recommended, so I'm going to give her a signature bond.
Yep. She signs on the dotted line and she's out the door to go climb under more fences and steal more electronic gadgets. But we continue.
And I'm going to make that $3,500 signature bond through pretrial. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Going to order stay away from 470 Morgan Falls. Please do not go back to the Keep North Fulton beautiful location, or any dumpsters or anything around that property that belong to them. Do not go there.
Stay your ass away from there, white girl. You're 31 years old. You're too old for this crap. You just are. Fine, you might be a person, you might be a nerd who knows how to fix things. I'm pretty sure there's a better way for you to do this than stealing the stuff, white woman. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Also, I'm going to order no further contact with the co-defendant in this case.
Well, I want y'all to peep, because she said co-defendant. I want y'all to peep the middle row, right square. This is the co-defendant, the white man. Yeah, he's in on this too. Yeah, he's in on it too. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
And that is, looks like a Joshua Klonitzi or something similar to that. Is that who co-defendant is in position 16?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's have no further contact with him while you're on bond, Ms. Prowse. All right.
Stay away from the white man, because y'all together as a team stealing electronics from a Salvation Army or something or another. But we continue.
Your Honor.
Anything else, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. Respectfully, Your Honor, they are in relationships and they live together. So we would like to request for no further violent contact, Your Honor.
All right, I will change it to no further violent contact.
Which is, I guess, a thing, because, I mean, they're not here accused of like fighting each other. So having a no contact order is basically being based on the fact that they were stealing together. And I don't think that necessarily makes sense. So even though this lady is the worst public defender ever, I think she's right in that, why make them stay away from each other? They haven't been convicted of anything. They're adults, obviously. So they're not convicted of anything as of yet. And they're not here because they were fighting each other. So having them stay away from each other doesn't seem to make too much sense to me. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that'll conclude this. Can we get position 16, Deputy?
Yes, ma'am. He's sitting in front of me.
Oh, good. Okay. All right.
Get on out of here, white girl. You get the sign on the line and walk out. With your 31-year-old ass, you still crawling under fences stealing. 2 words for you. Grow up, white woman. Well, actually, that was 4 words, but we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
Right.
Your Honor, my business before the court is not concluded. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Have a good weekend.
You too. You too,
Thank
Judge.
you. All right, this is 23 CR 000-360Y. Joshua, and I cannot pronounce the last name, so I don't want to mispronounce it too bad.
Chachny.
How do you pronounce it?
Chachny.
Konechny. Okay. You're charged with 1 count of theft by taking. The offense date is January the 19th, 2023. Pre-trial.
It's his 8th arrest. All of his history come out of Pennsylvania.
Shoot, he's got less arrests than his girlfriend. Jesus. She's more of a degenerate than he is. But we continue.
2016 probation. 2012 probation. He was pled guilty to theft by unlawful taking. And that was from 2011. He got a theft of leased property conviction from 2011 as well. See a burglary, criminal mischief. Those charges were dismissed from 2011. 2009, criminal mischief, conspiracy. That was charged was dismissed. And I see a simple assault and harassment from 07. And those were dismissed.
Okay.
So he has a history of thievery and burglary for the most part. But we continue.
Recommend him too. Just so you know.
And you said he's recommended. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, that's what the bond assessment said.
Okay. All right. ASG Abdullah.
Your Honor, again, the facts are the same as the last case. The defendant was caught crawling through a fence and entering into a shipping container full of recycled electronics or electronics to be recycled. Officers found several electronics concealed in a black bag near the defendants as they attempted to leave the location. And the program director says that they've had several thefts in the past. Given the defendant's history of theft, again, there's a theft of leased property in 2011, unlawful taking conviction in 2011 as well, receiving stolen property arrest in 2011, and device fraud in 2011, as well as several burglaries. The state is requesting a $3,500 surety bond. I know we addressed this in the last case, but the state will also request no further contact with the co-defendant. As we heard in the last case, they seem to be in the line of work of taking these electronics.
I'm with the Solicitor General on this one. I mean, you let him out, he's going to be singing, I'm out to steal electronics again. Me and my girlfriend. Him and his girlfriend will be right back stealing electronic gadgets out of garbage cans. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use. This is actually, to be honest, this isn't a bonus clip. This is actually a double bonus clip. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
And fixing them and selling them. Like I said, given his history of theft, it seems as if they have conspired this plan and it's not a legitimate business. Therefore, we're requesting that stay away from the co-defendant as well. I know further contact with the co-defendant and a stay away from the incident location, 470 Morgan Falls Road.
All right. PD Kim?
Yes.
And he's stuck with the worst public defender in the universe. But we continue.
Your Honor, Mr. Joshua Konechny is actually 41 years old.
Wait a damn minute. You're 41. And this is what you're doing, white man. This is what you're doing, white man. 41. And you getting caught on tape, climbing under fences, stealing electronics. you're another one who needs to grow the hell up. Jeez. But we continue. Fair use, Negroes. Fair use.
And please, those theft charges are more than decade ago, and all the other was actually dismissed. So please, those are remote, and I don't think that should be weighed heavily. He is currently residing with a co-defendant, and they are in a relationship, Your Honor. He is employed, gainfully employed at Denny Liquidator Store at Chambly as a liquidator. He's been working there for about 6 months, and he also has a 1 year of college education. And yes, he's from Pennsylvania, but he's been here for more than a year, and he's having this Georgia as his new permanent location. We would like to request for a signature on bond.
Now, if he's employed, what the hell is he doing climbing under fences, stealing electronics out of garbage cans and shipping containers with his girl? Why would you be doing that? But we continue.
And let them go back and continue their lives. Thank you.
Yeah, let them go back and continue stealing electronics. Him and his girlfriend. But we continue.
All right, I will order the $3,500 surety bond.
Uh-oh. Your girlfriend signs on the line and gets out. You, even though you have less arrests than she does, she gets to sign and walk out. You got to come up with 10%. So it would appear, white man. But we continue.
I'm sorry, signature bond through pretrial.
Oh, okay. You're getting a sign on the dotted line too. My bad. But we continue.
3,500 signature bond through pretrial. I'm going to order stay away from the incident location, the 470 Morgan Falls, road or drive. Road. I'm going to also order no further violent contact with the co-defendant, Ms. Prowse. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. And that should be it, unless counsel has anything else.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nothing further for state.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. It's fitting that this ends with nothing but white defendants. Like I said earlier at the top of this video, we often see a bunch of black folk up here accused of all kinds of foolishness and nonsense. But today it was different. A bunch of white people, even in the bonus clips. So when it comes to this type of stuff, I've been saying all throughout this that people are right in some instances, that white women do it too. Because they're accused of all kinds of nonsense and battery, domestic violence, whooping up on folks, biting folks, stealing. Shoot, one woman, she just got out of jail 30 days ago. Right back in here. Got her white ass right back sitting in the same place that she was sitting 30 days ago. For doing the same exact thing to the same person. So we can only surmise that, hey man, just like some of these black broads, some of these white broads, are degenerates. And they have help. Because sometimes they're doing degenerate stuff with their boyfriend. I mean, you know, I don't think degeneracy has a color per se. Degeneracy is what degeneracy does. And I think it's been exhibited here today on Dark Exodus. We got a chance to see wrongdoings with white women. But that's all. I appreciate y'all coming through, man, and checking this out. You could have spent your time anywhere. You decided to spend it here with T.P.O.T. And it is appreciated. I don't take your good folk lightly, man. I never have and I never will. You got my word on that. So, with that, I will leave you good folk with 3 words, you know, like I always do. Open your mind. Peaceful. X with another.
The darkness continues.
Only from T.P.O.T.